Yeah, so we'll just have to send it to everybody. We tested it like 5 times today. I don't know why it's not working, because it should be now. Yeah. Yep, okay, let me go check with Andrew. Did he say something? Count to 5?
Check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Are we live?
We are live. I would wait to see when we get people popping up here.
Nobody's watching, yeah.
And then I'm going to try to post everywhere that I had previously.
Okay. Oh, there's some people. We see people coming in. We can talk to them, Shyler.
Sorry, guys. Worked it out.
Right.
Well, thank you, Mr. AK Kid. Yes, we had to start a separate live. I don't know why.
You know, it's how things go.
We tested it like 5 times and
Yep.
didn't work the 6th. So
Works fine every time you test it, and then you go live and it doesn't work. But I think we're good now.
But great question.
Okay.
Okay, what are some of our questions there?
Okay, let's kick things off.
Okay. Status on the tongues, gussets in the same leather as the rest of the boot. Well, we do that on the LL64
Yep.
and the Riverside and the Chukka, correct?
Yeah, so anything that doesn't have a gusseted tongue. So the difficulty comes from the thickness of leather, and splitting it down doesn't always work because of the temper of the leather. So some leathers we can split it down, some we can't. So rather than saying these 3 we can do it, these 3 we can't,
Yeah.
it's just standard gusset leather across the board.
But we did try to address that with like the built-in tongue for the HD, which I think when it's all folded up essentially looks like, it's the same. But yeah, good question. So we've done it on some stuff. But yeah, we'll kind of keep that in mind, and
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Good question.
So we got 20 viewers now. Shyler, you want to kick us off with the intro and get us going?
Yeah, so it's our 100th episode. Thank you so much for being here and for listening in the past, or maybe coming on board recently. We started this kind of on a lark a little bit, a little over 2 years ago, and it's been fun. So thanks so much to you guys as the audience. It's why we do this. So. Yeah, got the ND4s. Michael Andrews pumped about his ND4s. Yes, those are coming. When is the Weather Shield Black coming in?
I believe we're good there. I know what we're actually waiting for some of these boots, the last few, is tags.
From Westy?
The ND4 tags.
Westy,
yep.
yeah.
Yep. So I just sent them another email to see where we're at there. But they should be getting finished up here pretty soon.
Yep. So it's not the leather. We're just waiting on the tags from Weston. So, you can always reach out to him, see if we can move that along. But we should have those in pretty quickly. I have Candy Get in the Van. That's a great name. Great name.
What is it?
I have Candy Get in the Van. Would that have gotten you?
Can you give
Do you think
the
that would have gotten
background
you when
behind
you were
that
young? What do you mean?
No. Remember, like how you were doing all the Reddit?
Oh, I have Candy Get in the Van. Well, that one seems a little pretty straightforward,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
But,
I don't think...
No, my mom was very diligent on
Stranger Danger?
Stranger Danger, and we had a family password.
oh,
That someone
what
didn't
was it?
know if someone else was picking
well,
it
she
up.
can't share it.
No,
'cause
what
then
was the
people
password?
know.
Well, it's not working now anymore.
Now someone will
Not
kidnap
super
her.
relevant now. It was popcorn.
Popcorn.
Popcorn, sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
never
if someone...
Never had to use it, though.
So is it like if someone was like, oh, I'm supposed to pick you up from school, your mom sent me. It's like, what's the password?
Yep.
This person does English horseback riding, Indy. They don't compete, but I guess just do it for fun. What boots do you recommend for horse riding? I mean, the Packer is kind of your classic, and then why not a Palouse?
Yeah, Palouse.
You know? Get that upper leg protection.
Yeah, it's not quite an English riding boot, but it's probably the closest we got.
Yeah, I would agree. But a Packer, I think a Packer would be great.
Absolutely.
I saw someone they got the 58 12s, so it was very comfortable. The super narrow last, narrow toe last, looked great. Okay. ND3, yes, the ND3 is coming. What would you say?
A couple weeks.
19th.
22nd.
The 22nd.
22nd.
Yeah. ND3 is 22nd. That's when that launches. I think the ND5 will be. I think you guys will like it.
Yeah.
It's not nearly as different as the ND4, which I really liked, but ND5 will be, I think, more of what BMW always said. We do evolution, not revolution. So we'll be leaning into that.
Yeah, I think it'll be taking on a few core elements from some of the other collabs and kind of putting them together.
Lucas, why haven't you made a side zip boot yet?
Why haven't I made a side zip boot?
Remember you were going to try and put it on the back of the boot, but
we tried to put it on the
never got
back
it
of the
working.
boot, and that didn't work because then you'd have to cut the heel counter in half. Our patterns just aren't really made to throw a zipper in. It's definitely something to revisit. We've
basically our heel counter is really big, and it kind of gets in the way.
Yeah, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, the big issue was the blucher on the upper of the boot didn't have enough room for like a pass through for the side zip, but the tanker pattern was
So you just made it shorter?
adjusted. Yeah, the tanker, like the new Tanker Pro pattern was adjusted because there wasn't enough room for a
Would
buckle.
it have to be the straps?
But no, we can use that same upper pattern, I think, for
Got
a
it.
side zip. So that might be something worth testing out without
All right,
having
can you
to.
put a little note in there?
I will, yeah.
It's a great idea. Thank you for getting those juices flowing.
Yeah.
Wherefore art thou the R word?
Romeo.
The R word.
That's right, you don't want to call it.
No, I don't want to call it the R word. Well, it's just weird. Like I've talked about it. Like Lothario. What's another name for a sexually active man? Or whatever. Well, like that's a Romeo. Nice
Okay.
job, Romeo.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think Lothario, the Gigolo. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't.
Lothario would have been my.
Yeah, right.
Would have been my.
Yeah. Yeah. Stud. Yeah, we got stud. That's a good one. The stud boot.
The stud.
So the stud boot will be coming
Oh,
out
I
here.
See, Lucas?
Yep, I like Luke's suggestion. Yeah, a grass burger.
A grass burger. The stud boot will. What do you? I'm telling people June.
June, July, I think is
I'm
late
telling
June
people
is-
June.
Yes, that's the goal.
So if I need to go,
I can't
whisper
make you
sweet
wrong.
nothings to Ivan. I will.
Okay. Yeah, he might need some bribing,
Okay.
but yeah, we're working on getting it done. Nice thing is, we actually did a Romeo like 10 years ago. The pattern was a little wonky and it had some issues, but we have like the starting patterns for a Romeo, so it shouldn't be as difficult as a whole new boot.
Okay. So Wicked and Craig Navy. Sure. Why not? There's 5 of you who want it. No. Yes. No. I mean, I think we'll do that periodically. There's no reason why we can't offer it. So I think we did that like 2 months ago. Relaunched it.
Reopened it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was towards the beginning of the year.
So we try and for those lower volume leathers, we try and kind of reopen them all at one time, just so we can make an order with Wicket, all at once instead of having them do onesies, twosies, all the time. So kind of to help them out a little bit. But yeah, that's a good idea. I think you could definitely see that coming out in the next month or two.
Yeah, Wicket and Craig, it's kind of a double-edged sword. It's an amazing leather. It's a beautiful leather, but it's not a leather you want to have sit on the shelf.
Yeah.
Because it's so waxy. If it sits, then it starts to get that wax bloom, and it gets really hard to work with. So that's why, Wicket and Craig, we try and order per boot ordered.
Yep.
That way it comes in and goes out. The cycle is quick. So when we have a large range of leathers, and there's Navy, we sold 5 pairs. And so that causes some issues with storage. And then also we don't want it to sit forever. So trying to balance that of like having all these options, but also making sure it doesn't sit. And
Yeah, you don't want it to sit. Like, it's kind of crazy when it's really cold here.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we have a ton of, we have a lot of windows, and so that part of the shop gets really cold, and you can actually see the the juices congealing and coming out of the leather.
Yeah, when it sits overnight when no one's here and the heater's not on, the Wicket and Craig can actually get so hard that they have to move it into a different room and like put it with a heater before they start lasting it because it's so hard to work with.
Candy, get in the van. Yes, thank you. It was great to. I don't know your name, but glad you came by to see us in Brooklyn. That was cool. The Brandel 64s. So those are moving. So we put in a quota system in place for production. That in order to receive their production bonus, they need to get out a certain number of Brandels each month, and so that has a little bit more of a fire. So we're getting through those on a regular basis, and yeah, you're seeing a decent. Well, for Brandel doesn't sell a ton, but a decent amount coming out each month, which is cool. Spark plates.
Oh yeah, that's coming with the next year when we roll out more options for the Heelys. We're adding spark plates as well.
So what are spark plates?
I think they're talking about with Heelys, they had like the little thing on the heel.
Oh, really?
Spark when you're, yeah.
That's cool.
I assume that's what they're talking about.
I was thinking it was something like electrical discharge or something, but okay.
No, I think they're talking about the Heelys, potentially. I could be totally wrong. Lots of requests for blood core.
Blood core. We almost did P-core for April Fools, like a yellow.
That would have been pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that would be cool. I was at Sidel last week and I talked to them about it. I don't know. It's like a cationic dyeing process. It's been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm. We've had some similar stuff coming, the over-dyed options, where you'll get a similar kind of patina effect or fake patina effect.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not as into that, but we'll see. And then so it's an overdyed Wicket leather. Mm-hmm. It's black over brown.
Yeah, the first sample, was so it looks black, and then it'll wear brown like a T-core effect. But you could I was able to take just a rag and like some alcohol and water and rub really hard and get that brown to come through.
Yeah.
So it'll be like expedited patina.
Yeah, Carl's testing those out right now. So we'll. We're giving him some months to kind of beat him up and have that kind of come through. Cypress, Roanoke, natural. Yeah, sure, why not? I think that's on our list of samples, actually. So we've got a ton of Cypress, and, you guys have seen some of the examples if you've watched the Boots on the Line. We had the Cypress Pacific, the Predator Pacific, the Predator Color 8, more than that? What else? I don't know. They're
so many.
Shackleton Color 8.
Shackleton Color 8. There's a light burgundy Predator in the shop right now. Someone mentioned Wicket and Craig Navy. That Cypress Midnight Pacific is going to be a really nice dark blue.
Yeah.
That'll kind of meet that color.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how the tannages look.
Yeah, every tannage with the same
color.
colors.
Yeah,
a little different.
Slightly different. What is your favorite leather and in what color? Right now, I like the Pacific, man. And I think the Pacific Cypress or the Wax Flush is probably my favorite. When do you think those Cypress samples will be done?
They're going through right now. So they're getting cut. Should have gotten cut today, if not tomorrow. So we'll be seeing them pretty soon here.
Okay. And then we're probably looking at a deal with a retailer where a specialized retailer in our space, not like, freaking Walmart here or anything, but I think we're going to set aside the Pacific CXL. We're going to see what they think of the sample. We send that out to them or send them photos, but I think that'd be kind of cool to have that as a standalone option. Then we'll also offer the Pacific Cypress, the Pacific Wax Flush, the Pacific Predator, and really bracket that colorway.
I think the Pacific Predator is also going to be a really cool option once it patinas.
Yep.
shows through a little bit brighter blue, but kind of a distressed look like Predator is. And yeah, it'll darken up really nicely.
Would you ever offer the Heritage and Wicked and Craig leathers and rough out? That's an interesting question. I mean, the Heritage, I think like we are trying to do that a little bit with the Spokane leathers, even though those are kind of a hybrid between work and Heritage. You know, a struck through wax flesh essentially, but that's essentially what you need is you need it to be struck through to have the colorway on the rough out side, on the flesh side. I'm open to it. I have a couple samples of struck through Heritage leathers because I just think like, I mean, I think T-Core's cool, you know, but it was like such a thing for, you know, the last 10 years plus or so. And I'm like, well, I wonder if there's some other ways to look at it. And, you know, that's what we kind of did with the Spokane is to try and have a little different approach to it. So, but yeah, no, it's a good idea. Wicket, I don't know. Can they do that? Do they strike through? I'm not even sure.
I don't think so. No.
I'll have to. I mean, I could be totally wrong. I don't know. I've just never asked that question.
Yeah.
It's a good question. It's a good idea. I'll probably be going out there in another couple weeks to Wicket. So we'll see. We'll see. Brandle's a beautiful boot. Thank you very much. It is a very beautiful boot. For the 1925, what's the moderate and classic heel stacks? Do we do?
You shouldn't
different heel stacks on the
have
1925?
Classic heel stacks for the 1925. It would just be a low heel for the 1925. It's moderate arch last. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't gone there yet. So right now it should just be kind of the normal height, right?
Yep.
So if that's giving you both heel options, that may be an oversight. Shiny Hunter. Working on a high line. That's cool. You talk about Spokane Brown, so it's discontinued. Spokane Brown was not discontinued. It was just kind of a misunderstanding. And so essentially we darkened it up a little bit from the first sample run. I don't think it's enough that you can really tell, but I think we basically made it look a lot better, to be honest. And so I think you've seen that as it's come through. Like that Spokane waxed flesh is like gorgeous, man. I mean, it's such a warm, deep brown.
Yeah.
And then similar, you know, the smooth side's nice as well. So it's not discontinued. We just kind of darkened it up a little bit. And so there was some confusion with miscommunication. So it's not discontinued. It's all good. We just wanted to make it look better and frankly, like a little more different than Honey because it is. There was some similarities with the first sample run.
And it also is just very close to Brown CXL and Brown Shackleton. We have the three leathers that kind of had that same tone. So
yeah.
we wanted to differentiate.
Going for like a walnut colorway, basically. So it is a little darker than the initial sample run, and I think we're at a pretty decent spot with it. There's probably some things we can do to clean up. It's pretty aniline right now, and I think some people might like that, some people might not. Just so to get the smooth finish a little more uniform is something we'll probably work out with the future shipments, but I think it looks really good.
Yeah.
Manny, yeah, bring back hand welting and McKay stitching, huh? Okay. Okay. No. Doc Lyman working late too. That's cool. Yes, the Pacific Wax Flesh tankers, man. Kudos to you guys because you ordered lots of different cool configurations. So we have a lot of photography and a lot of examples of that leather looking great. I think I've seen Station Masters, I've seen tankers, I've seen Roberts, Falcons, etc. So yeah, I think that's a great leather, and I hope it really continues to do well, especially as we get more examples out there for people. Got Dirt Core. That's a good one. I actually talked to Seidel about that, because what I think would be interesting is, so basically the way that blood core leather, it's an old tanning technique. I think it's called cationic dyeing, where you basically take a base color. In the case of the blood core, it's just a red, right? It's like you take red leather, And then you use cationic dyeing, which essentially is like an electrolyzed dyeing technique. So you run a current through the leather, and it actually will, the tops and bottoms of it will attract whatever dye you have in there.
Oh, interesting.
And so that's what they do. So you basically start with a red leather, and then you run current through it. It's a certain, I don't know if it's a certain dye or a certain chemical or something like that, but it basically then penetrates decently and coats the top and the bottom with that black color in that case. So you're using a black dye on a red leather.
Huh.
It's like, that's kind of an interesting use case, because I was like,
Yeah.
well, what if you could start with like a natural and you'd have a T-core finish on the inside, but then you could dye it, on the flesh side and the grain side,
Oh, yeah.
like
So
whatever
you can
color
still
you wanted.
smooth or rough out.
So it would kind of answer that question of like, well, have you ever thought about having dyed, rough out heritage leathers? And the reason we don't do that is because you have to strike it through, and
Yeah.
so that's kind of polarizing because you don't get the T-core effect. And I'm like, well, this might be a workaround on getting that same look. There was some concern that the natural might not be a strong enough color to resist whatever color you're dyeing on the front of the top and bottom of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas red is quite a strong color. So I don't know. I think that might be worth looking into and seeing if that makes some sense.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Okay. Delta arch boot. Yeah, it's a good idea. We were just talking about that. So how it's made on that. Kelsey, can you put that on the list? Okay. Good idea. Rob, his stepdaughter's boyfriend, was picked by the Work Dome winner. Oh, that's cool. So that was Doc Lyman, right?
Oh, yeah.
So Doc Lyman, what?
I think he wanted to stay anonymous, but
Oh, shit. Oh, that's right.
that's okay.
My bad. It's a problem with live.
Take 2, everybody.
Take 2.
Cut that. Kelsey, cut that.
I'll fix it.
We'll take that from the top. Yeah, so sorry, dude. Anyway, well, that was not my generosity. That was an anonymous donation
Yes,
from one of our
anonymous.
users. Let's get that size and get that boot.
But I'm stoked he's going to be getting some boots. I
Let's-
hope he'll probably make good use out of them.
Yep. Boot Camp Chicago. Well, definitely be me and Lucas. Probably Luke, I imagine. I may bring. We have a new hire. Not that new anymore, but Dominic. I think could make some sense to kind of understand that. He kind of runs our direct-to-consumer side, like the performance marketing, etc. Nick. We'll see. He's on. I got a few demerits after the last trip.
Oh, no.
Well, right, you were there.
You mean, I don't...
Some indulgence.
Yeah. Needed a little help back to the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he was great.
No, yeah, it's a
Great.
good time.
It was a good time.
New York's fun.
It was a good time. Yes.
I'm excited. I've been there a number of times. I've never been to Chicago.
Never?
Never once.
Wow.
So I'm excited.
I love
New
it.
York.
It's
New
easier.
places.
It's
Yeah.
easier. That's for sure. I don't know if it's better. It's different.
It's I think that's why I think it's better because it's easier.
It is easier.
Yeah.
For sure. We kind of were like, hey, like, what if we get a new location, talk to Ben, and I think the cost structure is more appealing as well. New York is incredibly expensive. So we'll have the whole team there, man. We'll be bringing a lot of boots to try on, and
We're already starting to think about setup and what we're bringing and all that good stuff.
yeah. And what do you guys drink? Oh, I guess we just talked about that.
What do we drink?
That's one of the questions. What do you guys drink?
Oh, what do we drink? I mean, I'll drink anything. Is that?
I think that's an offer potentially.
And what do you? Oh, I see. You gonna be there, Paul? I'm not picky.
Something local I think would be cool.
Yeah.
Something to kind of showcase the city.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love going to Chicago. I was just there. Manny still banging on about the McKay and the handwell thing. Okay. I don't know, bud. I just don't know. The McKay, whatever. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
But I think it's overrated. But whatever. I get it if you like that. Spokane brown's really nice. Yes, double stuff. Yeah, I'd agree. It's the double stuffed brown. It has like an almost shellishness to it, like that. It can have that
The buck brown.
Yeah. It can have like that really high gloss to it. So I think that's a little different, but it does look really nice. So I appreciate you saying that. I think you can kind of get a similar vibe on the shell appearance with cypress sometimes as well.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's great leather. It's a little thicker than those two, right? So I think it's better for kind of, more all around and that sort of thing. Spur shelf. That's an option, isn't it? Spur shelf on the Palouse?
Yes, I believe so. I think we've pretty much sold through the Palouse at this point, at least for this current run.
Yeah.
But yes, it should be an option on the build your own, which I think might just be gone from quantities. But let me double check. If it's not there, we'll make sure it's there.
Yeah, I mean, a cowboy boot without a spur shelf?
Yeah.
Like, what are you even doing?
Oh no.
Lucas.
It was there. I swear it was there. Oh yeah, it's right there.
I've seen one.
It's
Okay,
right there.
it's on there.
Spur shelf,
It's
yes.
on there. It's on there. Woo.
Getting me in trouble
Woo.
live.
Yeah, I mean, it's on there.
It's
man.
on the build your
So,
own, yeah. So on the customizable one.
Yeah. So I don't know. Give us a call. Yeah. Thanks, pal. Spokane brown. Yeah, it looks really good. I mean, yeah, we have some customers that they're into the latest new thing, and I told them, I was like, man, this Spokane brown is worth your
The brown wax fly.
Worth your time.
Spokane brown wax is just really nice.
Mm-hmm. A Spokane natural. Ooh.
That's on the list, I
It's
think,
on.
isn't
It's
it?
on the list. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have like a list of
Yeah.
basically by tannage and different colorways. And so yes, I would love to get a Spokane natural. The Spokane sampling takes longer because it's a new tannage essentially for them.
Feels like they're still kind of figuring it out. Too.
Well, it's also because it's thicker than pretty much the vast majority of the leathers that they make. And so I went out there last week to be like, hey, can we speed up the deliveries? And essentially what they said was like, because we do spec our leathers a little thicker than everybody else, and I guess selection hasn't been as good or something, so they've basically not been able to acquire the thicknesses that they need in the time frame that we need. And so we're going to address that, I'm going to give them a forecast basically of like how much 6, 7, regardless of colorway or tannage, are we going to need for kind of a given month, and forecast that out for a year. So hopefully, like as they're going through the selection, they can kind of set these aside for us and turn them into like whatever we want, whether that's like a CXL or a Cypress, et cetera. But it's a good idea. I love that idea.
yeah,
I do wonder. I mean, it's probably going to be pretty similar to honey, right?
Yeah, it might be close in tone. We do have in the conference room on the whiteboard, there's a long list of samples, colors, and tannages that we decided we were going to test out this year. Mm-hmm. And I think there's like 25 samples on that board. So we're bringing in a lot of stuff to take a look at.
Yep.
Spokane, leathers,
Cypress,
Predator. All the staples that we're currently offering.
Yep.
And
More
then
Shackletons
a
too.
little bit of some new stuff to test out.
How's the Spokane black waxed flesh looking? It looks good. I mean, it looks. I think I actually have some pictures of it in the last boots on the line. It looks like black waxed flesh.
Yeah,
but it's not struck through, or it's struck through, so you
Yeah.
can't see the like T-core like you do with the normal one. So it's like a slightly fuzzy black, but it looks good.
Yeah.
I think it looks nice.
I think that's the thing. Like with black leather in general, it's always just it's a black leather.
Yeah.
It doesn't pop like some other colors will.
Somebody said Texas Welder had a good idea, but I can't find out what it was. Oh well.
Oh, I think it was the Spokane Natural.
Oh, duh. Okay. Sorry, getting used to this
for blue
format.
leather. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. It's essentially what it is. Okay, I get it. Yeah. Well, Kelsey's Kelsey's going to do a Delta Arch boot. How it's made.
East Coast Knicks facility.
Well, do you make a 360 stitch down with a leather midsole or just rubber?
Just rubber.
We have done it with.
Yeah. It's more.
Well, the Maxwell's.
The
Or is that not?
The Zero Drop is a
Okay.
360 with leather. It's mostly just, where do you draw the line? Don't want to confuse things too much.
Yeah.
Having a 360 rubber, 360 leather, 270 leather just felt like a lot of option. Like, it's easy to say the 360 all rubber construction is made for flexibility, waterproof.
Right.
And then our classic construction is made for durability and structure and
Yeah. It's not like cheaper. So I don't know. Like, we don't do it to save money.
Yeah.
Like the rubbers.
All that to say, it's doable. Like,
Yeah.
If that's something you really, really want, we can do it. The only reason we don't have an option for it is to not confuse, person who's buying their first pair of boots, and it's like one more option to try and figure out.
The 1925 last doesn't have an arch. I mean, it's kind of like H&W, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very similar to H&W.
So it's got some arch. It's not, it's not like the 55 or anything.
Yeah, we still put shank piece in it and everything, so it's
Yeah.
got a bit of an arch.
But yeah, it's a pretty roomy last, so I do think it would actually be a good candidate for a Delta Arch in there. I'm assuming you mean aftermarket, or if you mean built-in, I don't know. But an aftermarket one, or not, like a post-construction one, that would be, I think that'd be a good idea. Something to check. East Coast Knicks facility. It's an interesting idea.
We could use the space,
Yeah, I know. It's already filling up.
even
here.
if it's just a warehouse.
I know. It's a good idea. It's funny. I've been talking to Brett Viberg about his store that he's opening there, and it's just like pain in the bottom.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. But it's coming along.
Is it like it's in New York, right? Is it like in the city?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet that's.
Oh, it's gonna be sick. I think it's gonna be
it'll
cool.
be really cool.
Yeah, he sent me pictures. It looks really awesome. But just hearing like the challenges he's going through with it, I'm like, oh man, is that another thing to bite off? Maybe next year. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Tequila. Okay, Manny drinks tequila. Or are you saying we should drink more tequila?
I love tequila. I would happily.
Well, we'd love to see you at the bar in Chicago.
Yeah.
So something I think we're going to do, I talked to Ben about this. I think we'll do like a little happy hour for Nick's customers.
Fun.
Either like as a standalone thing or potentially as a kind of separate area within the main happy hour or something like that. I don't know. But we'll be there. We'll talk to people, get to know you. So, probably provide some drinks and that sort of thing. So
Sweet.
stay tuned on that. We'll get some more ideas around that. Don Julio, it's a good one. I'm kind of a fan. Okay, we'll get pull-ons.
We'll bring lots of pull-ons for sure.
Pull-ons for boot camp.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of sizing. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the Shiny Hunter Cypress 8 does have shell vibes, for sure. Silver Creek Animations, I'm glad you like your Builder Pros. I love mine as well. I just got a new pair.
You did?
Well, it's a blast from the past. It's the first mahogany Thurman we made.
Oh. Is it just one we've had? Is it from cleaning out your office?
Yes, I cleaned out my office.
And you found boots?
I got new boots.
I know exactly the boots you're talking about.
Yeah, and they
now.
look awesome.
We built them in your size to have you throw them on.
I mean, I've worn them, just not as
Yeah.
much. And I was like, oh, these are great. It's a great last. Yeah. Be my first Thurmans.
Wow.
I know. Exciting.
Yeah, the Thurman's great.
It is great.
Is it the 55 or is it the H&W?
I think it's a 55.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I want to say that was like we put that in as. Okay, yeah, it was the test for the mahogany leather.
Yeah.
I remember that boot now. Yeah,
It's good looking leather.
I wondered where those went.
Why don't we have a 67 last on the Station Master?
Because they cannot get the last out of the freaking boot after they finish.
So you were going to get some cool new jacks that were going to let us use more stuff in there.
Yeah. So we're looking at a number of things for making pull-ons better in general. So mostly for Western.
And really more for the production process on
Yes.
pull-ons. Like, you guys wouldn't really know some of this stuff.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a pain for us.
Yeah.
So,
So the 67 last, it's not, we were just talking about the difference between pull-on lasts and lace-up lasts. The 55 is kind of like got some Western vibes to it, so it works for pull-ons. The 67 is not a pull-on last. So when they build that boot, because it's got the sprung toe, it gets stuck. They cannot get that movement to get the last out. And they have to wrench so hard that they end up getting like
it stretches things
splitting
out.
and we've seen splitting in the instep of the
You
leather
were going to
and
get
stuff.
some like hinged boot jacks though.
Yes, so we've looked at a couple things, different last types, different boot jack types. It's all a matter of just figuring out what makes the most sense for us. Because there's different breakaway lasts also you can get. But we already have so many lasts that ordering a bunch more maybe is tough on storage.
Peter Jones, we need to get moving back there. They got to make more stuff, according to Peter. He's been waiting.
All right. We'll let them know. We'll go back there tomorrow. They went home.
Do you mind if I use your name?
Yeah, we will go back there and say, Peter Jones demands you work faster.
Honey White. What is that?
Honey White. White X,
Maybe?
We do have
That would be cool.
White X soles.
Yeah, but they're not like honey.
No. But we are going to be rolling that out in the near future.
I did ask Vibram if they make like that honey compound in a different color. They do not. Which is a bummer.
Yeah.
But side zip boot, we used to do them.
The side zips?
Yeah.
Yeah, and people still had to unlace their boot. And
Yeah,
put
it's
it
just
on.
not. We need to.
It was one of those things where it's like,
pattern.
yeah,
It's a good idea.
if you want a side zip just because you like the look of a side zip, then we can do it. But if you want a side zip for the functionality of a side zip, it wasn't really meeting that.
Yeah.
People were still having to unlace their whole boot, put it on, lace it back up, and then zip it also.
Yeah. Cinnamon. I saw a color named cinnamon. It was on the darker side of brown orange.
Cinnamon wax flesh.
Yep. Which was essentially tan wax flesh.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Whites uses it a lot. Yeah, it's like a lighter
cool leather.
brown. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we tested some.
I just don't like doing what other people are doing.
Sure,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? So that's the main reason. Like, it's kind of a whites color. But the tan wax flesh is a little more red, I would say. But definitely had some similarities to it. I would say that the brown Spokane wax flesh,
Yeah.
it's richer.
Yeah,
but it's kind
I'd
of
say
in that
that's pretty close.
same brown
Yeah.
spectrum.
I know if we haven't, I can't remember if we sold it for the first run of the sample sale. I know we had some sample leather. So unless we already sold it, we will have 1 or 2 pairs available the next time we do that sample sale.
Okay. So Rick Jensen. So I wear Chukkas in spring, but I'm not in summer. But I'm not going to have a Christie sole. They don't like Christies. Is something with less aggressive lugs coming or available? Like, why don't you make it available with like the 430 or something?
We can do that. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, are you okay with it having a heel stack?
Yeah, for Chukka, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we have stuff going through right now, actually, as an option with some. We're looking at a different leather sole option potentially we're testing out. So we're gonna try that on a Chukka to be like a dress Chukka, but then yeah, we can definitely do it with a heel stack.
Yeah. No, it's a good idea. So you'll see some options like that.
Yeah.
Mocto Pro 365 stitch down. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like them, Mr. Welder. It's a Texas Welder. What do you think Texas Welder means, Kelsey?
I think.
I'm gonna go ahead. I think that they live in Texas and their profession is welding.
I think that's pretty good.
Strong guess.
Yep. Well done.
Thank you.
Big John is intrigued by the Spokane brown wax flesh or black wax flesh? I don't know. I have a pair of Delta arches in production with that leather that I'm going to use for motorcycle riding.
Nice.
I think that is a great choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wax. Spokane.
clarified, black wax
Black
flesh.
wax flesh.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I mean, it looks good. It'll be. I think it's a nice intermediate thickness. It's a little between the heritage and the work leather, so a little lighter weight, but still plenty tough. I think that's a great use case for it.
Yeah.
Nick wants us to start with the Seattle facility. I have thought about that. I'm like, why do we not have any retailers in Seattle,
Yeah.
Kelsey?
Yeah, what the heck, Kelsey?
I know, sorry.
Get on it.
There's a
My to-do
couple.
list.
There's like Blue Owl, which is like a denim place. We've sort of talked to them, but it's been a
Yeah.
while. Maybe that's worth revisiting.
Filson carried our stuff years ago.
So we are going to have a collab with Filson, but that's not going to come out till next year. Or
Yeah.
27?
26 or 27, I can't remember.
Yeah.
They work
Yeah.
way ahead.
So we've talked to them, so they'll have an option. They'll be offering something from us. So I think that'll be cool. But yeah, you're right. We should make it easier for people to try stuff on.
Yeah.
I agree. Like I have to pay different taxes basically on wholesale sales and in-state wholesale sales, and I haven't had to do that in like quite a while because we really don't have any in-state dealers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Spokane Natural would be awesome. I agree.
Has the 602 last compared to the 1925?
You know, it's a good question. For what it's worth, like we started the 1925 development before I think we were even like working with the 602s.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
They're not really related at all. Obviously a foot's a foot, and you're not gonna, there's gonna be similarities between anything that's kind of foot shaped, but it definitely was not inspired by the 602. It's got an almond shape. I think that the toe box is a little more sleek on the 1925 versus the 602. I think it might be a little wider on the 1925. It's a very roomy lass. I do think the 1925 it's got a wider waist. So it's like if you're a high instep person, it's actually like a pretty good boot for you.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of room in there. The 602 is really pretty, and I think Andrew did a really nice job of kind of pulling in that waist, but still keeping it comfortable. So it does have a really nice look.
Yeah.
But I would say the 1925 definitely has a little more waist to it, and is probably a little wider. So, I know you were able to squeeze into a width narrower.
Yeah, I wore a 12D in the 1925, and I normally wear an E or double E in our boots, especially
but
in
the D was, it was a little tight for you, but
Yeah,
I'd call
it took some breaking
kind
in,
of like
but-
more true to size, probably on the widths than,
agree with
than
that, yeah.
ours. Like I wear a 12, like a normal shoe, and sneakers, but I have to wear an E in our shoes.
Yeah.
And I think I'd probably be fine. I'm fine with a D on the Brandle, but I'm kind of a tweener.
Yeah.
like,
That's kind of where I am, too.
like an E is almost a little too wide for me, but good question. Yeah, free entry if wearing Nick's. I like that idea. That's a great idea.
What is that?
Free entry if you're wearing Nick's boots
For the boot camp?
for the happy hour.
Yeah. Check your boots at the door.
Have I considered horsehide? Yes. So I talked to Horween about this. So there's going to be a couple things. So May is our anniversary month. So it's our 61st year. You will be seeing some interesting options to celebrate that. What?
I agree with you.
What's so funny?
It's interesting.
Yeah, so you're going to see some cool options. So we will be having a limited offering of shell within the Nix line, Cordovan. And you'll also see, I think, Merriam making a comeback as well. And then I'm also going to be bringing in some horse fronts and really pushing those throughout the line, both in boots and small goods. So I think you'll see some fairly expanded horse options kind of on a limited basis in particular coming up here in the next couple of weeks. So that'll be cool. We've done horsehide in the past. It's just, it's been a while. So I think the last time we did it, most of you probably didn't even know who we were, to be honest. I think it was like 2021. Okay. When are we going to be in Chicago? It's the second weekend in November.
It's November this year, right?
Yeah. What date is that?
Yeah, so it's the boot camp put on by stitchdown.com. Boot camp. What is the website? Is it not boot camp?
Producers are usually looking things up for their
I don't
hosts.
I have my laptop.
Oh, you have your phone.
Yeah, fast texter.
Come on, Jamie. Let's get that going.
Okay.
Switch Down Boot Camp. It's November 7th and 8th.
So November 7th and 8th is
yeah.
when we're going to be in Chicago.
Yeah, if you go to stitchdownbootcamp.com, you can see everything about
And probably
the
the
event.
day before and the day after.
Yeah,
Just
we'll be
kinda
there for a
travel.
bit.
Yeah. But yeah, you should come.
Yeah.
You talked to Negative Famous, Steven? Interesting.
Oh, okay.
Well,
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I'd be down.
I'll reach out. Kelsey, can you make a note?
Yep.
1925 and 602 last only have double E for wet bits.
Yeah, we could definitely, Kevin.
Yeah,
we
we can do that.
We can do a modified upper. If you place the order and reach out and say you need a D upper on your double E boot, we can easily make that change for you.
Yep. A Honey V bar. It's a cool idea. Vibram, not doing so much custom work these days.
Yeah, that's why you may have noticed we've tried some different sole manufacturers in the last year or two.
Yeah, Vibram's getting tougher to work. I mean, I don't blame them, but they're just kind of streamlining their product catalog. I think they're facing some supply availability, like we've seen with the Quabugs and et cetera, because they couldn't get the washers, which I think is crazy. But
I do think big part of it is direct attach sneaker soles are so much easier to make, and there's a lot more sneaker manufacturers out there than are manufacturers doing what we're doing. So I think they've kind of made a decision that is their priority.
Did you get the Dr. Souls in?
Yeah, we got Dr. Souls in.
What'd you think?
Half soles, full soles, heels, great. We got to order a bunch more.
Okay. Yeah, that was cool. So yeah, we did get the Dr. Souls in finally.
Yeah. So anyone who did a Dr. Soul half sole or anything else,
10 minutes.
this should be
10-minute warning.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Any thoughts on leather suspenders? Who wants those? There's somebody here that wants to do leather.
I think Luke wants to do them.
Is it Luke?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, Luke.
He's probably watching.
He just sent in 30-ounce belts.
Steven, so I've been on the hunt for a brown leather so dark it's almost black. Anything like that coming in? So we already have that. I mean, that's double stuffed walnut.
Yeah.
For sure. Or frankly, dark brown wax flesh. So our brown wax flesh is technically dark brown wax flesh. We just call it brown wax flesh, just because we linguistic drift. But walnut double stuff in Wicked and Craig is pretty much what you're looking for. Or double stuffed Java. Yeah. Bloodcore, nothing immediately planned. I don't know. Everybody's doing it.
Yeah, it's.
I don't like doing what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, I feel like it's been done already. Let's do something new.
Yeah. Maybe the lineman patch will be Bloodcore.
Oh yeah.
Bloodcore. Not sure if anyone asked any recommendations on 1925 last for us E-width folks.
I'd say just go with the double E.
Or the D.
Yeah, I mean, you can go either way. I would leave that up to your discretion. I personally typically would recommend,
I think if you're an
For a
E
dress.
in our normal lasts, I would think you'd be fine with the D.
yeah, you can be fine with a D. Might be a little more snug. A double E is going to be immediately more comfortable.
But loose.
Might loosen up, yeah.
Yeah. You'll see us bring in more.
Yeah,
Widths
so
on that
this
too.
this run is mostly just kind of test the waters. We didn't want to commit to ordering, hundreds, close to thousands of lasts
Yeah.
before knowing, whether you guys wanted it. So
Rambler leathers, like Coach Rambler.
mm-hmm.
That's Stead, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yep.
I don't know. So we have the waxy Commanders.
Yeah, we did the Waxy Commander.
It's okay. Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't really thought about it. I'm not like a huge CF Stead guy, to be honest. I don't love suedes.
Yeah.
But that's just personal preference.
I agree. I'm with you there.
They tend to be thinner than what we normally work with.
Yeah.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
From what I've heard, when you order CF Stead, it's going to be different every time. Like even the sample we got compared to the shipment we got was a little different in terms of thickness, and tone a little bit, which we run into that with every tannery, but it wasn't as difficult as I expected it to be. Like they went through production great. They were a little bit thicker than the original samples, but I can see us doing similar runs in the future. But.
Okay, we gotta go. We gotta go faster. So, Manny's asking about knife sheaths for buck knives. I mean, we did that one, the collab. I don't really see any reason why we couldn't. That was specifically for a 110. Yeah, it's a good idea. Someone wants a white X. Shoot us an email, please.
I hope someone deleted Luke's comment.
Might have been Luke.
Natural wax flesh. Yeah. It never sells very well.
Yeah.
But, sure. I like natural wax flesh. It's nice.
The Casanova for the Romeo.
The Casanova, that's good, Ross.
Yeah.
Thank
There
you.
you go.
Thank you. Horsehide is interesting. It's very tough. So the aspen, yeah, dude. So I was going to do it in acorn. I have some interesting acorn samples coming in. So acorn was the aspen that was really pretty. And cognac, we have cognac. Like we made that.
Mm-hmm. The
No,
horse?
it was a brown and a red. Do you remember in those samples?
The horse?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was aspen and...
I thought it was cognac. It was burgundy for sure, color 8. And then I
Yeah.
thought, anyway, it might have just been a brown. And it's a good idea. Aspen to me, it can be weird because it doesn't, it needs to be the right color because it's not like super, I don't know how to put it, uniform in how it looks. And it almost looks like it's not a bad thing, but it's not like CXL, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, this is painted on and this is what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
It's got some more variation to it. So I think you have to pick the right colors. But yeah, it's a good suggestion. We can look at the cognac. Horsehide is great for abrasion. Doesn't stretch, which is why it's kind of difficult to work with. Luck of the Dice giveaway.
Yeah, so we will be picking a winner. I'll be reaching out to the person.
We rolling the dice.
Yeah, we are. I brought in a bunch of dice to roll for that to decide the winner. And we'll be reaching out and getting a size from them, and they'll be getting the totally random. It actually is going to be a really cool boot. The dice were favorable. This could have turned into a monstrosity, but I think it'll be a pretty nice boot.
Okay.
So we'll be deciding that winner here pretty shortly.
Interesting idea. And Station Master, but I can see the stitching and some, vegetable buttons to keep the uppers from looking slumpy. Yeah, it's funny. Some people like it slumpy. It's kind of a thing. But yeah, no, that's good. That's a good point. We can definitely look at that. Okay, 5-minute warning. Reverse horseside engineers are great.
Bottle merch.
Battens. Oh, battens. Okay.
Bottle.
You see that? Bottle merch.
Yep.
They want bottle merch. T-shirts.
Okay. Steven wears leather suspenders. Okay. Open house this summer. Sure, why not? Like have people come here.
Yeah, I think maybe they're talking about the the meetup we did that one time.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Yeah, after the renovations, yeah.
Kelsey, can you take a note? See, I tell Kelsey to take a note. She does not take a note.
No, she's
going to
scrolling
look this up.
TikTok
Oh,
right now.
you're on Notion?
No, my Notion's on there.
Oh, on your phone?
On my laptop.
What are you doing on your phone? Okay, never mind.
Never
Okay.
mind.
She's monitoring to make sure we don't mess anything up.
Yeah, Pale, you're going to get your Dr. Soul halves. Yeah, Skip Horween, we had a great quote. What we do here is not complicated, it's just difficult. Exactly. I always say, a lot of what we do is easy, like digging a ditch is easy. It's just a lot of sweat and tears,
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked to him. It was kind of interesting. I met with him specifically to kind of get the lead times figured out. And he was inspired because he read this business book recently, and it was like, how many of our orders are flawless? How many orders come in, ship on time, have no issues, customers notified promptly, and he's like, it's not high enough. Mm-hmm. So we're all working through that together, and I thought it was an interesting question. It's like, how do we make this seamless as possible up and down the supply chain? But yeah, so we're all working together on that. A blood core patch. All right, well, maybe we'll do that. It'll be an add-on or something like that. Try-on options. Well, I mean, we went away from the try-on program because of the exchange program, because it was essentially like us charging you redundantly for a privilege you already, frankly, had. And so, you know, I like making more money. Like maybe we bring that back and we're like, hey, you know, if you want to kind of throw us $100, we'll make the try-on boot. But for the most try-on boots were the boot you ordered in the first place.
We did have a pretty serious discussion about it a few months ago. It's a possibility.
Offer Spokane on quick ship. Yeah, I mean, that's essentially just a function of like getting Horween dialed in from the deliveries.
Yeah.
Truman's not carrying the Ramblers. Okay, well, I didn't know that.
Luke.
Rick, yeah, no suede. Not since the 70s. There you go. MTO boot in 5 inches. Can I get the matching tongue leather like the LL64? What if you get the LL64 and then it's all good?
Yeah, just get the LL64.
Yeah, we can. I don't know. We'll see. What would you order? I don't know. Shoot us a note or an email or something like that. I would like to learn more. Is that Mickey? Lucas wants a 30-ounce belt. Yeah, that's a good idea.
30-ounce belt and 40-ounce denim.
Yep. A chill after a long day of work. A loafer. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, so the Chukka was kind of our thing, and then, you know, we have the Casanova coming out as well. Yeah, it's a good idea. We need like something, guys, to sell in the summer, man. That's like my least favorite time of year. So the Chukka, that's where the Chukka came from. That's where the Lothario is coming from. And
The Casanova.
a loafer is not a bad idea.
Yeah, that can be next on the list for sure.
Stitching on the kilties is like custom stitching. Is that kind of what you mean? Like customizable or personalized, or just like a toe bug? I don't know. It's a cool idea. Have I dehydrated any more gummy bears lately? Yes, actually, I started another batch last night. Thank you for asking.
Is this context I'm missing?
I age gummy bears.
Oh, that's right. I have. Okay. Yeah.
Was I there?
No, this was like a Reddit discussion.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I've told you guys about it.
So you age.
Yes.
Yeah, so I put them on a rack in my pantry, and then I have an air purifier running air over them because it gives them a nice patina, a nice chew.
That's right.
Like just
We've seen the
Haribos.
Yeah.
comment.
Yeah.
You just lay them out.
Yep. Yeah, you want a lot of surface area so they can.
Should we tell Shyler about our video idea? Maybe later.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, let's video how freaking strange I am. Yeah, that sounds really good. We will bring merchandise. When is Nick's gonna do something on the 310? What is the 310?
That's the Viber glass.
Oh, that's funny.
We got our own lasts.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what the 310 is.
It's their like big.
I mean, I know it's
sprung
their last,
toe.
but I don't know. It's kind of like the
it's like
67.
yeah.
Is that like the Prospector?
The 310 is their like big.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smaller prototype messenger bag come out. Hey,
It's being worked on.
Lucas, when is the messenger bag coming out?
He's working on. Actually, I think I saw
You're in the chat.
almost finished bag or
He was
start.
holding
Yeah,
something
he was
today.
working on one today.
You want some other soles and other options. What other options on the LL64? Because you could just order the LL64 and change the LL64. That would be easier.
Yeah.
The HD tongue for all boots for folks who don't want to rock kilties. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that being part of the eventual kind of evolution of this new option.
I mean, I'd love everything to be HD.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, that's kind of what we've
Awesome.
talked about.
It's an awesome
yeah.
boot.
I think with we've talked about the fact we have a new website coming, right?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got a new site launching in a couple weeks here.
Yeah, so with that, I think that's a good opportunity for us to kind of recategorize how we do, reorganize how we do customizable boots, and you may see some of this kind of stuff where more add-ons and things like that.
Give me another less aggressive sole. Like what? Like the 430, Rick? I don't know. 'Cause I usually don't think of the Christie as being particularly aggressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or you mean another wedge sole or something like the V-bar or 430? Because I feel like we have a lot of, casual sole options, less aggressive tread.
Anyway, yeah, let us know. But yeah, sure. Like, is it something we have, or do I have to order it in? I guess that's the question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Anthony, looking forward to your ND1s. Yeah, I think they'll be great, man. We ordered, extra 64 brown and brown wax flash.
So much brown wax flash for those.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that'll be cool. We done?
Yeah, I think we're at time. Is there any little updates
Jeez.
you want to
That was an hour? That's crazy. Okay, that was fast. Will lead times be getting better? Lead times are actually fine. It's just the fact that we've been out of leathers.
Once the
it's
leather
really like
shows
3
up.
months, 3 to 4 months, kind of depends.
Yeah.
Chrome pack, yep. Zero drop chukka. Oh, the Voyager? Sure. I mean, don't we have that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
zero drop
2021.
chukka.
Gotcha.
Okay, so Rick wants a different wedge option. Other
Sure.
than
Sure.
Yeah, we're always looking at new options, so that might be something that rolls out. We actually have those wedges that
Don't we
got.
have some 2021s?
We still have 2021s. He's saying it's not his favorite.
Well, he said he'd deal with that. He'd
Yeah.
get the 2020.
Yeah, we could do a 2021 for you, but yeah, lots of sole options we're testing out. The Dr. Souls, some other ones as well. Yeah.
Jesus, thank you for your order. Jody, yep, we got Rebuild coming through. Heavy lug. Really? You like the Timas? Huh.
We've got some samples.
I did not like those visually.
Yeah.
But sure, I've actually got some.
Yeah, we've got some in house.
Maybe it could be a good sample boot or something like
Yeah.
that. Leather goods for trades, nail bags. Yeah, it's a good idea, Manny. Come on, Luke. Ordered some boots last week. Thank you, Australia. Fair dinkum.
Awesome.
Yeah, more. Yes, I'd like to do that. I need to get the leather situation figured out. Sample sale. What's going on? You guys?
Sample sale. The orders are finalized. They should be moving through here pretty quick.
Okay.
We're probably just I'm sure they're scheduled and ready to go.
Okay.
They're quick ship. We have
And the
leather, so.
half soles and the dock soles. Those are go pretty much to any width, right?
Half soles always are going to have some limitations. Depends on exactly what size you're looking for, but they go 11 double F range, and then it's
And it's skinnies up. as
Yeah.
you go up. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I guess it depends on your size. But delay for Builder Pro Quick Ship, Shackleton Greener Pastures. No, there should not
No,
be.
we've got plenty of that
Plenty
in
of
stock.
that.
second
Sample
sample
sale. Yes, there will be.
We have a ton of sample leather still. That was just kind of the first go to see
Trial run. Yeah.
how obviously there were some hiccups.
Yep.
So we're going to smooth those out for the next time. But we've got a bunch of sample leathers that we want to run through.
Yep. All right, guys.
Sweet.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, this was fun.
Thanks for everything. Thanks for being a customer. Thanks for listening. We deeply, deeply, deeply appreciate you guys. Hope you're having a wonderful evening, and you know where to find us. We'll talk to you later. Bye,
Awesome.
guys.
Thanks.
See
Bye.
ya.
Stop streaming.
Yep.